am so excited today. Today is an outstanding day for a Take Charge Tuesday. And if you're interested in some surprising secrets to make your life better, then you're in the right place. We are so excited to welcome to our Georgia Christian Business Network Take Charge Tuesday platform, Chantaine Rhoe-Bulluck. The way I want to talk about it, the more vacations lady. And I don't know anyone that would deny the opportunity to receive more vacations in life. If you're out there, let me know, because I want to know what is it that you do to make that happen. In fact, no, I don't even want to know, because I love vacations. And here at Georgia Christian Business Network, we've determined, we're decreeing that this is the year of elevation. And one of the opportunities, when I had an opportunity to meet her, and we've been promoting her bio, and you'll get a chance to hear from her directly as she describes and defines herself, who she is, what she does. What I've learned, though, from speaking with her, from meeting with her, from welcoming her as a Georgia Christian Business Network GCBN member, is that her conversation, when she talks about what she does, her industry, is so drawing. It's pulling. It relaxes you, and you start to the experience just from the engagement. So what I'd like to do at this point is to invite you to welcome to our Georgia Christian Business platform, Take Charge Tuesday, Chantaine Rhoe-Bulluck. Thank you.
Hugs to you, Beth. When I met you, I mean, I could just feel the joy in your spirit. And I wanted to be a part of everything that you're creating in the Georgia Christian Business Network and in life, what you're creating in the business world and in life. I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful.
God, as my grandbaby would say, hug, hug.
Absolutely. You know,
Yes.
I say God always ordains everything. And I met Jenny Lee. She was my grief coach. I met Jenny Lee Schmidt, and she introduced us. And, you know, God just puts people and places and everything in action when you need it. So I'm just grateful to be here.
And thank you for sending that shout out for Jenny Lee Smith. She is so awesome and amazing. She's been on our Wellness Wednesday platform, which I think is an opportunity for us with you as well to visit Pamela and Rich over there. Rich is going to be leaving us soon, but maybe not for long. He may come back, but I think that would be a great opportunity. But thanks for sending the shout out to Jenny, because thank you for her being a GCBN member and promoting what we do. She is so outstanding in her grief recovery work as a grief recovery coach, expert knowledge there. So we wanted to take time for that. But for you, oh my God, just thank you for all the kind things that you've said already this morning. You know, thank you. And thank you for being a member to support the organization. You're not in Georgia, but you deemed it important, you know, and you valued us. And there are going to be some great opportunities. I'm looking forward to your visiting your daughter and telling me you're in town so we can connect and such, you know.
Me too.
So you here at GCBN, as I mentioned, this is the year of elevation. We decree and then we're declaring. But the way that we're defining elevation as a continual ascension in your mind and aligning your feet to follow. And so when you look at elevation from that perspective, then you get the opportunity to continuously experience elevation in every aspect of life. Do you agree?
Absolutely agree. And when I think about what you're saying, and that's really what we are applying, you know, I have my tool, my passion in my business is travel. But what we're doing is just ascending and doing exactly what you're saying, with putting your feet on the path.
Right. Sorry. Yeah, for sure. Because, and then when you think of it, well, how can we build travel into elevation? We don't even have to build it. What we need to do is to recognize, from my perspective, and I'm going to lend to you to share more insight, why travel is really an opportunity to experience greater reset opportunities for business, to do greater business, to elevate in every aspect of your life, from a personal stance to a business stance. What do you say about that?
Absolutely. You know, what I came here to talk about was, you know, steps that I've found that don't necessarily even involve travel, but these same steps you can apply to travel. And I do apply to travel. And travel can be a way that not only, you know, I am so excited that I get the opportunity to help people live well and feel better about their life and what they're doing about themselves and their life. And travel is just one tool to help you do that.
Awesome, awesome. And living better, meaning taking breaks sometimes to embrace yourself, your life, understanding that as a part of life is rest. And when I think of travel, I think of opportunities to take a break, to check out, if you will. Is that safe to say?
Absolutely.
And to say, you know, life can, and things, business can go on without best presence there, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And in fact, it probably does a little bit better, you know, for the new insights to allow, you know, I thank God for my executive assistant. She carried the call because I do have to apologize for being late this morning. I'm in Dallas at my daughter's, at Dr. Jess's home. And I just got my time zones all turned around. And when I realized it, it was a little late. Okay.
No problem, no problem. You know,
Okay.
you talked about checking out, and a lot of people talk about travel as a way to check out. And really, I want to kind of reverse that and think about how you check in. You know, let's give some, what are we doing? You know, people think about travel as just a way to have fun, but my goodness, you know, travel is so much more, and it can be so much more. When we can think about some of the things that I'm going to share with you today, some of the ways in which you can put yourself in, check in, be intentional about travel, be intentional about life, which is, you know, the 5 secrets to to finding happy. But you can put some of those same tools, some of those same tactics and strategies into planning your travel, so that you checked into it, be intentional about it, so that you can get out of it what you truly intended to have out of it, and not just visit a place somebody told you about.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. And so I like that. Thank you for changing my perspective already. It's not an opportunity to check out, but to check in. And I love to travel. And one of the things that I like about what you're saying is the innovative piece of it. The opportunity for exploration, the opportunity to network, if you will.
Right.
To meet people that you otherwise may not have met, and you thinking, well, I'm all the way here and they're all the way live somewhere else. How can it possible? But we've learned one thing from the pandemic, that we are more connected globally than we think we are. And there are greater opportunities. It's just like you know, tell them where you're located here in Alabama.
Absolutely. Well, I'm in Alabama. You know, I'm in Alabama, and I'm kind of reminded of when we're talking about the pandemic. I remember a day a few months back into the pandemic. You know, we all want to be happy, but sometimes finding happy in every day can be a struggle. And I know back in that pandemic time, it was Sofa Sunday. You know, after months into the pandemic, I was feeling locked in the house, you know, church on the sofa. It no longer felt like a treat. And so the long weekends, just feeling alone, even though we're together, we're getting so much longer.
Right, right.
And that, you know, and as the last notes of that last song ended, in the silence that followed, I walked down the hall and down the steps, and I was going in the kitchen, rumbling through the fridge and the pots and the pans and deciding, you know, what's brunch today? And I heard, come here, come here, come here. And I'm like, what in the world? And I ran upstairs wondering, what? And my husband was flipping the channels, and he had stumbled upon the National Geographic Channel. And what he found lit those passions that had gone dormant in both of us. You know, we couldn't travel. That's our tool. But brunch became a quick sandwich because we feasted on the images on the television screen. And that day we just toured the Harbin Opera House in China. We were in awe of the architecture. You know, I don't know if you've seen it, it's absolutely amazing. And when we wandered the vast galleries and the collections in the London Museum, and we were on the boat, we were on the Clyde River to Glasgow, Scotland. We ignited a thirst to sail the rivers of Europe. But we were drinking coffee in our pajamas on the sofa. And we spent that day, we were reminiscing about the past travels. We were dreaming of the future destinations, but best of all, we just talked. And it reminded me that oftentimes we're searching for happiness in all the wrong places, or we're doing, in the business world, we're doing, so we can have, so we can be happy. And when the answer is so much simpler, it's just God has given it to us. So when we read and we meditate on his word about happiness, we realize that the joy that God intends for us, when we have the faith and gratitude for that life that he has given us. And, how do we show gratitude? We show gratitude by just being intentional in noticing, being intentional in enjoying. So, my passion in my business is travel, but I love that I help people, to live well. And what I'm going to talk about today is being intentional in travel, yes, but being intentional in every day.
Well, this is so awesome. You know what I'm realizing, even as I speak, is you're refreshing me and my spirit, because the opportunity that you have described to us about your husband saying, come, come, come. I don't know about either of you ladies that are on the call. Thank you, Donna and Susie, for joining us here on Zoom. But could you feel, and maybe even some of the people over on Facebook Live, and Lisa Muth is already over there. I told you she is so outstanding, men in the post there. But could you feel drawn into the experience that she was sharing between her husband and her? Could you just see it from a different angle that, oh my God, I could see you being drawn into that, because you were drawing me into that just by listening to you. And so I love what you're talking about. And I just can't wait to hear more of these surprising secrets that we can really look at embracing for our lives, so that we can have a better experience throughout life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you the secret. And when I say, God wants us to be intentional about enjoying what he has given us. And so the secret is real simple. It's being intentional about upping your fun and your fulfillment in life. There's room for everyone to prosper. Yet most people doubt that it can be as simple as just simply asking for it and allowing it to show up in their lives. So instead of asking what they want and believing they can have it, many people instead respond to the conditions in their life. And they spend so much of their time just observing their life and what they don't like about it, and observing others' lives and making those judgments, but not being deliberate about what you want, setting an intention so that it'll come forth.
I love that. I love that. You have to pause for just a second, because I really want you to expound on that, and the intentionality of really purposely focus on enjoying life, because the opportunity is that life is a journey. I think we'd all agree to that. But one of the things that years ago I wrote about this, and I'm refreshing a book that I'd written some years ago, but in it I talk about identifying the joy in the journey. And one of the things that I recognize, and I'm not saying I was the first to recognize this, but it's so important that we look how God allowed the spelling of journey to come forth, that the joy is actually in the journey. When you look at journey as a word and the spelling of it, J-O comes at the beginning, but it's a long stretch before you get to the Y. And I thought about that. Oh my God. So what I say is, you start off with the most opportunity in life, like at the birth of a baby. There's so much joy, right? And so I think you get the bulk of it, but there's a long stretch sometimes to to that why. But
I,
I believe there are opportunities throughout the journey where you will experience joy. Do you agree?
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And it's all in our head. When I say, I say, I'm going to call it, look at the 5 H's. I'm so brilliant. That's real simple. the first, the first, the first area is your head.
Yeah.
We're complaining about others, what others should do so we can be happy, or we base what we do for ourselves on how we're feeling inside. But, I invite you to think outside in. The key to changing how you feel is helping you change what you do. And, have you ever said, wow, that felt so good. Why don't I do that more often? Or,
Yeah.
why do I do this? I'm always miserable the next day after I do this. And these are the things that I'm talking about. Find that positive reinforcement from the choices that we make and the things we do. Because yes, that journey is long. Never thought of that
Right.
word that way. And I think that's brilliant. That journey is
Yeah.
long.
It
But
is.
yes, but let's
It
be
is.
intentional about it, because every day is that blessing for us. And when we can engage in those meaningful activities that increase the behaviors that are good for us, we can get that emotional compound interest. The more you generate in it, the more it compounds. And I wish I had thought of that myself, but I stole that from Eric Barker. He's the creating of barking up the wrong tree, and I love it. Emotional compound interest, so that you.
Oh my gosh, I love that emotional compound interest. And when you were talking, I've got the opportunity after our show today is this afternoon at 2 Central, 2 Central. Okay, I'm going to be on the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs platform, and I'm going to be talking about embracing confidence, and through excuse me, experiencing greater level of elevate confidence through experience and embracing your born identity. And I believe you said something key earlier. The way that we have to understand in the beginning, God created us so that we could experience joy, and He purposefully created us. And He wants, and His greatest desire is that we live an abundant life.
Right.
And some people, and I know it's not just travel industry in what you do, but some people, the first thing you say when you say you need to take a trip or you need to do something like that, well, I can't afford, or I can't this, or you hear the I can't. But what you're teaching us right now is there's an opportunity to experience a refresh and renewal, and just rethinking your thoughts is what this very thing. That's why we said elevation and this match so well for you to come on the platform, because the very thing that refreshes you and starts to rejuvenate your life is rechanneling your thoughts. I mean, two things. I mean, just being here today and saying, don't look at it as checking out. For me personally, and some of you over on the Facebook side of the house, or are you ladies here with us on Zoom? Think about it. What would you say are opportunities that maybe we've looked at things one way that really cause us to be more sluggish, check us out quickly, tires even, just tiring, and maybe depression and those things. If you just change your thought process and saw those from a different perspective, then it allows you to gather more energy and more confidence. That's why I mentioned the ladies. Some of the things, our born identity, we've gotten so far moved from where God's system was to take us, and we've allowed too many things to pile upon us that is taking us away from experiencing the joy that He set before us.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So one of the things you said, changing how we act and how we think is so much easier than changing our circumstances. And that's
yeah.
entirely up to us. Entirely up to us.
Entirely up. So it's a choice then.
Yeah.
Um, how do you choose to live your life? One of the things too that I wanted to allow you to share is the opportunity of travel and what that brings to the table as well, and why you chose the the business like that, because you shared some of that with me
Yeah.
when we had our pre-call some time ago.
Yeah, I can definitely transition. My mom was the the catalyst for the passion that I have for travel. She was passionate about travel, and it was in a lot of different ways. What she did for us growing up in the 60s in the South is she used travel as a tool to expand our minds, expand our vision, expand our horizons so that we knew that there was more for us than what we could see right in front of us, that there was more for us than other people had defined for us. And what she did was just instill that whole habit and pattern, and the fact of looking at travel not just as fun, but as a way, as a tool to better yourself, feel better about what you're doing, feel better about life and your opportunities and your visions for life.
Wow, wow, wow. Your vision is enhanced by the opportunity when you change from one scenery to the next, I believe. What do you think?
Absolutely. You know, when it's proven when you take children out and you expand their horizons, they can see more than what's around them. They can see more for themselves.
Uh-huh.
And
For sure.
it also helps too, getting to see people as people. You know, often, and we can see in this world today, often people see other people who are different from them as, you know, a threat. But when you get out into the world and you meet people are just people are just people, and you get out and expand your vision and expand your horizon, and you get to know that and experience that, it can help make it not only just a better person, it can help us make a better community, make a better world by just spreading ourselves out and realizing people are people and seeing people as people.
You know what? I believe you're right. And I want to just jump right in there and say, this is a winner right there. And I know there's some other surprising secrets that you want to share. You're just a woman of wisdom, and I see this already. But the thing that you said, it it really minimizes my view of, and do I want to say minimize? What it does, it helps me to see my view, maybe maximize. That's the word, just the opposite of what I was saying. My view of how I see people. That is such a vast global, just a vast world.
Mhm.
And all I see is me in it. But when I start to travel, I recognize there are more lights out there that I could identify with
Yes,
than not.
yes,
And also, one of the things, people are people wherever you go, is what I've learned in my travels. And how we look at other people when we travel, we learn more about their ways, their culture, their customs, and they get the opportunity to experience ours as well. But at the same time, what is happening is we're touching a little bit more of God, is what I'd like to say, because God created us all on purpose for a specific purpose. And when we travel to meet other people, or people travel to come into our neck of the woods, if you will, and we're open to receive different people. Even you can go to Panera Bread, or you could go to a fancy restaurant, or you can go to a beach. It doesn't matter. Or you can go to the grocery store, your local grocery. And you're, because of the blended opportunities that we're experiencing now, and you get to experience more of God. I believe that if we start to see other people as a link to more of God,
right.
instead of fearing what they bring to the table that's different than what I bring to the table, whether it goes from skin color, or to the language, to the customs, to the ways, their beliefs, even. Yeah, I said that.
Their
Our
belief.
beliefs.
Mhm.
Yeah, even though we're people of faith, if we recognize other people and their beliefs, and we become an extension of God for them, we allow light to shine,
Amen.
right?
Yes, it
And
does.
so when light is present, what happens to darkness?
You erase the darkness. You
Right, right. This is wonderful. Yeah.
erase the darkness. And, one of the other things that I like to talk about is your environment. I call it your habitat.
Okay.
That's one of the 5 H's, your habitat. And that's not just your house. It's your personal space. It could be your car, your family room, the Panera Bread, your workspace, a vacation location, or even just, the clothes that you're wearing. Your outer environment is a reflection of your inner state. And so we can change that state by changing that environment, changing that habitat to make us feel better, more peaceful. It affects your energy. It even influences how others respond to us. And these are cues that our body receives, even when we're not looking for it, even when we're not conscious of it. And so changing those things around you is really one of the best and easiest places to start.
Oh, wow. And I'm loving your digging into this. So we've got head, habitat. I can't wait to hear the remainder. This is good. Yeah.
Well, all right then. And I had a little story with what I talked about the habitat. What brought to mind is, and not too long ago, I was traveling with a friend, and she told me about when she was sitting on the bed, and her twin sister had come into the room and just took one look at her and said, "Hey, try a little lipstick, you'll feel better." And I remembered that I had received a little similar advice from a friend too, and I realized that is how we think about it. I realized I wasn't doing that because I didn't have the confidence in what I was doing and picking out the right colors. And I was using all these excuses. But that's something that I could do. It's just a simple thing to feel energized, feel sophisticated, feel confident. And it's not really even about the color. It's not about it's not about the object. It's about the feeling and the energy that you bring to yourself. And there's such simple ways you can do it. It could be that, it could be decluttering. It could be, I do it in the places that I pick for people. When I, help people and coach people through their travel, it is, not just let's pick the cheapest place or let's pick, what kind of place brings that energy that you want to feel when you're on your travels. That's important. And those are some of the things that I like to talk to people about when we're planning, and I'm coaching them through, either I'm planning it or I'm coaching them through their planning their own stuff. And so that habitat is important. It's important.
Awesome. Awesome. And I love what you said, because you brought it to your place of residence. Maybe it's declutter that you need to experience, because sometimes, when I'm really into cleaning and my cleaning lady's been there and I'm the one that cleans before Alvita gets there, and or clean along with her, I'm that person. Okay. But doesn't it feel different? It feels differently. The atmosphere, you light a candle that sends off a scent or something. And although it's my same home, my husband and I've been living there. Okay, Romy's 32 in September, so we'll be there with 32 years this past May. This is May. We've been there 32 years. Okay, but it feels fresh. It feels the newness. When you just declutter some stuff. I know my office, when I've had an event and I dump stuff down, then I have another event and I dump stuff down. But when I clear it out, what does that say to us about life?
That's right. That's right. That is so right. When you're having that clutter, your body feels it. Your body feels it. So you can get rid of that clutter in your space to help get rid of that clutter in your mind and in your spirit.
That is so awesome. That is really good. Thank you.
Welcome. You're welcome. And those, there's a lot we can do with that, but we only have a few more minutes.
So, okay. By all means. Okay.
And the third H is your heart. You know, you mentioned your relationships and what, you know, and those same things that we're talking about also can affect the energy that you're sending out in your relationships, sending out in your heart. And one of the things, I read this book called How to Be an Adult in Relationships, and it's talking about
What?
first, yep, how to be an
How to
adult,
be
and
an
it's
adult in
how
a
to be an
relationship.
adult. And it said first, in order to be that adult, you had to first be happier with yourself. And how you feel about yourself can help change the way that you relate to other people and the way that you engage in all of your relationships. And so we get it right back to what are these things that we can do to affect our own energy that affects the energy that we have in our business and our personal relationships.
This is wonderful. And I promise you, if you were to get on the NACWE call that I'm going to facilitate this week and next week, I'm going to talk about that because there's 4 systems, and what you just said falls under my belief systems. Because the reason that we don't have more confidence in life and that we're not receiving and experiencing more refreshing opportunities for life and business, and really being more successful in business, to embrace confidence, because our belief system is broken. And the belief system is all encompassing what you believe about God, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about others. All of that is, and if that's broken, that's why we have to go back to the beginning of who God called us to be. This is wonderful.
That's the truth.
Thank you.
That's the truth. That's the truth. And it circles right back around to what I call my 4th H. And you talk about your health, because right now May is Mental Health Month. You know, we're talking about that. The pandemic brought to light, you know, quality of life and well-being is a public health concern. That's not new, but it has truly come to light because of the pandemic. And just like our physical health, our mental health can affect our motivation, our energy level, all of the things that we're doing, our confidence, how we respond, how we function in life. And also our body responds to how we are thinking and feeling and acting. And like you said, your belief system, if you're not believing, you know, I had a really, really good friend, and she talked about, she had a major birthday. I'll just say that she had a really major birthday, and she surprised me when I was calling to welcome her and, happy birthday. She surprised me by saying that she was also celebrating her recovery from stage 4 cancer. And I was
Oh
really surprised.
man.
And she said when she was diagnosed, her doctor said, "Hey, you'll be fine. You have a great attitude." And she was. And it stopped me in my tracks, because her next statement stopped me in my tracks, because she said, "I'm glad it was me and not my husband, because I'd be a widow."
Oh.
And it gets right back to, like you said, your belief systems. What do you believe?
Yeah.
God, you know, and we all struggle, we all fail, but we all need to help each other to get back those belief systems. And when we're falling, to pick us up and get back to that belief system. Because what she was telling me about had happened 10 years before. And I didn't even know any of that. And I had known her through those
10 years before? Oh my
and I
God.
had known her through those 10 years and did not even know that she was
But
going through that
and
because of
even having survived it for
yes.
10 years and still trucking even now.
Oh,
You
really?
know, the scripture that comes to mind is, your faith has made you whole. I love what Susie shared with us here on Zoom. She said, the race is not to the swift nor the faint at heart. Time and circumstance happens to us all.
Ooh.
And we don't know what's coming our way, but God said that we would experience glory to glory. But what I often say to people, because this was just so eye-opening for me, is that in between those glories, stuff happens. So we go from glory to glory. But what about in between the glories? And I believe that God allows those opportunities to strengthen us, because the glories get greater. And you've experienced this mountaintop. I had a wonderful opportunity, but God said, that's not it. It's greater. It's greater elevation. And so you've got to get prepared. So how do we get prepared? We got to gird up our loins with strength. We've got to tap into that faith that we've been building and allow an opportunity to exercise it. You know,
Yes,
this is
indeed.
so wonderful. Thank
Yes,
you. And I'm
indeed.
so pleased and honored that you're a member of GCBN.
Oh, thank you.
I just love this type of, like you said, the attitude, what is matter of behavior determines your attitude and altitude and how far you'll go
That's right.
in life. God has so much greater for all of us.
He does.
And it's a matter if we will adjust our attitude to become one of obedient unto Him.
Right.
And
Right.
even when we go through the challenges of life, to understand that He is for us. And if God is for us, who dare be against us?
Oh, I'm about to sing my song.
Okay,
No.
thou shalt. I can run.
Yes, yes. Come
Yeah,
on, God, if God before you, who can be against you? Yes.
yeah.
And so you've just led me into my fifth and final H, the homework. Do the homework, I call it create a unique lifestyle mastery plan. And how do we do that? We do that by connecting to and up leveling our fun and our fulfillment, recognizing the blessings that God has given us and allowing ourselves to expand those blessings, figuring out what gives us pleasure, and then expanding on that, do that pattern detection. And I like to say, and then just figure out what that is and then do it and do it and do it and do it again. Find out more of it and then do it again.
That is so amazing. It's not hard. I think we make it complex.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually very simple. If we identify with who God says we are, who He's called us to be, and we experience joy in a regard, and what you're suggesting, you experience joy that time, you can do it again. You know, you
Start
can
that
do it
journey.
again. Start the journey and to understand that there's still going to be joy, but
That's
it's
right.
going to take a minute to get to the why,
That's right.
you know? But
That's
all
right.
the while is joy because your perspective of what you're seeing has to change. To see it from, are people opposing me? Is this opposition? And I'm just looking at it the wrong way when in actuality it's opportunity.
Ooh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, because the choice is mine, right?
That
The
choice is
choice is yours. Yeah, it's ours. It's
ours.
our choice to how we view it. And what we believe about God makes all of the difference in that. And how we serve others.
Right.
That's very important,
That's
don't you think?
That's right.
Um,
Absolutely. Absolutely. How we serve others and how we see ourselves so that we can be a bigger service to others. Because if we see ourselves small, then we're going to serve small. But if we see ourselves as, being filled with God's intentions and sharing those intentions and spreading those intentions out into the world, then we can make a huge difference. That's something I had to learn and still learning, and
uh-huh.
something more that we can teach other people and inspire other people to do.
That is so wonderful. I've so enjoyed this. You gave me my lead in for next week who we're talking with. I'm so glad. This is awesome, Chantaine. It's just beautiful. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for providing this information. Donna Weaver's on the call. Good News Club. Yay. They're GCBN corporate members, and we're so blessed to have them. And when you said that, I thought immediately about the service that they provide, the opportunity that they provide for us to serve our youth. And so I'm really hoping people will come back next Tuesday to be a part of that and to hear about Good News Club and from the leadership there. So Donna, it's good to have you on the call with us today. Awesome.
And
And
I want to thank
Susie
my
is,
friend Susie.
hi, Susie. Thank
Susie, my
you.
mentor there. So thank you, Susie, for being here.
Thank you for joining us today. It's just wonderful to have your participation. And what we invite you to do, Also on the Facebook side of the house, we have great participation with Lisa Muth, who is my executive assistant. And you had to talk with her. You got an opportunity to speak with her this morning, see how amazing she is. She is kind of my backbone of Georgia Christian Business Network and our vision to put God back in business. We thank you for the participation over on the Facebook side of the house and those that have joined us, because this has been such a great opportunity. And I want to say refreshing for me. Every time I talk to you, I feel like I'm on a vacation or something, because you settle me a little bit. And, you know, because I'm one of those all over, and you just got to just stop right here and listen. And if you listen, then you can hear the beauty of what God is doing and saying through you, you know?
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us today for Georgia Christian Business Network Take Charge Tuesday Power Call. Chantaine has brought to us a powerful word, and I hope those of you that watched the replay, as well as those that have joined live today, have gotten an opportunity to hear some amazing truths. I love those 5 H's, you know, and I'm going to try to say them, you know: head, habitat, heart. I'm losing one.
Health.
What's it? Health. And
And
that's something
homework.
I'm truly focused on. And what's the final H?
Homework.
Or
Put it in action.
you've got to put the work in, don't we? Yeah, we have to put the work in. You know, what you put in is what you're going to get out. So I'm excited about that. And I look forward to your joining us tomorrow. She talked about health. We have mental wellness as a part of the GCBN platform on our Wellness Wednesday program that are currently our hosts are Pamela Bridgman Bartell and Rich Oswald. Both are corporate sponsors of Georgia Christian Business Network. And we have a very unique topic. And I believe tomorrow is graduation, or did we talk about tomorrow's revelation or graduation, one of those. But we have a unique sunset, sunrise opportunity, and we've got 4 unique topics that we're talking about. So it's very important for mental wellness. We've talked about everything about narcissism, depression, and building hope. Any topic you can imagine, we probably discussed. If we haven't, please suggest what you'd like for us to talk about with our licensed professionals on our Wellness Wednesday platform. And on Small Business Friday, either you're going to have a powerful presenter or a powerful replay of a previous presenter with a new nugget to help you just make it through the weekend, to encourage you as a servant leader to grow in your faith. And so the opportunity also comes back around to Take Charge Tuesday next week with Good News Club. And then finishing off the month with the Wellness Wednesday and other platforms. I have to mention to you, God Golfing Girls, GGG number 7 is happening August 26th through to 28th at Stone Mountain Resort, Marriott Resort. In Stone Mountain, Georgia. And we would love for you to join us. Please visit our website at gcbnetwork.com. There's so many opportunities that are coming up within Georgia Christian Business Network. A couple of them that we haven't gotten up yet, but we've got financial literacy boot camp with Georgia United Credit Union, and they're our GCBN corporate sponsors as well with Lee Gant. We're excited about that. A Jericho walk for those ladies that are local, but you can also participate because we're going to have some online participation coming up, and we'll get that information out. And the GCBN Men helping you to win in business and in life is going to be a platform that we're putting together around the June, July time frame. So visit our website, gcbnetwork.com. We're putting God back in business, and we need your help. Please look for an opportunity to see where you can become a member or perhaps sponsor our network. We'd love to have your support. We're doing a great work, like Nehemiah said, and we won't come down. Again, Chantaine, lessons. This is awesome. Thank you, Susie, for joining us. You know, she says, great job to you, Chantaine. Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Take care. And Lisa, thank you so much. And the team over on Facebook, we appreciate you all as well. God bless you all. Have a great afternoon.